Do you know these people, Haley and DeSantis, personally?
I know every one of them. Yep, every one of them.
So give me a personality profile of Christie first.
Well, I think Christie is sort of, without sounding insulting, he's New Jersey to the core. He sort of has a forget about it attitude, go right at the jugular. He's a sort of a brawler. You see that in how he attacks Donald Trump. I think Nikki Haley is much more of to your point, she's more of a statesman type of person, which is why she was a good fit at the UN. DeSantis comes across the way that you think he was. He's an executive, but he's not the touchy-feely kind of politician that we're normally used to seeing run for president. And then Ramaswamy is, he's just a flamethrower. He's a successful businessman that doesn't really care about using all the right words, and you see it on the debate stage. But what you see with him privately or publicly is pretty much what you see publicly too.
Okay. So Haley and Christie are not big fans of mine. And I think that might temper my analysis of them. All right. And that's wrong on my part. I shouldn't care what they think of me. Christie, I don't like at all because of the beach thing. Remember the COVID, and then he's lounging on the beach by himself? That disqualified him for everything for me, just as the French laundry disqualified the California governor. When he said, nobody can come out of the house because of COVID, but I'm going to the big expensive restaurant. Christie did the same thing. I'm going to the beach. You can't go. Gone. All right. Can't come back from that. Nikki Haley, I've met her a few times. I don't think she's a woman of the people. I just don't get that. I don't see it. But maybe I'm wrong there.
Look, I've been in this game since I did my first campaign 30 years ago. I've seen a lot of politicians come and go. And I think that what the unique thing was about Trump is that we didn't know what to make of him. And he came in and he shook up the state. I sat there in the White House with him for about 7 months, and he was willing to take on the status quo. So many times we're told we can't do X, right? This is in law. This is how it's always been. And Trump came in and said, I don't care. And for the first time in my life, I saw a politician that was willing to take on the establishment, shake things up to get real change. Too often we hear excuses. I think the closest we're going to get to that is a guy like DeSantis, who has been willing to take on the establishment, fight against institutions like Disney, take on the bureaucracy when it came to coming out of COVID and the educational bureaucracy, shake up the higher education system in Florida. So if you like Trump, I would go downscale to DeSantis and then keep going. But I don't disagree. I think Nikki Haley comes across much more in the mold of the establishment Republican.
Yeah, but maybe I'm wrong about her. Final question for you. DeSantis' problem is he doesn't connect with the folks, as I call them. He's too remote. He's too emotionally remote. Trump isn't. Trump's got the folks, the MAGA people. They don't care what Trump does. They don't care what he says. They're with him. And they'll always be with him because he's forged that connection, whatever it may be. But tactically, if I were Trump, I would consider Nikki Haley as my vice president. What do you think?
So interesting. I will tell you that I think part of the reason what I put my finger on with Trump was that the business that he's in, construction, retail, restaurants, you interact with everyday workers, with blue collar workers. So Trump has always had an affinity and a connection to American workers that I think most politicians lack. The thing that's interesting, on my podcast today, I had one of DeSantis' top aides, and I said to him, with all of the accomplishments that DeSantis has as governor, why isn't he connected? Kind of what you're getting at. And I think part of it is that's that lack of connection to people. You got all the accomplishments on the paper that would add up to somebody doing really well, and yet it's not there because of what you've put your finger on. I think that's the biggest thing that I take away from right now where things is that Trump has a connection with people because of the background that he's been in.
Yeah.
That he understands
his personality is much more open. Nikki Haley, VP, yes or no?
So I'm sorry. Here's what I've always said. With Trump, being the VP is a concentric circle. You have to want it. He has to want you. And I think Nikki Haley didn't want to stick around as UN ambassador. Why would she want to, as I say, after seeing the Mike Pence movie, who was a loyal vice president for 4 years, take that job. I think Nikki Haley doesn't want the job. I don't think Trump would pick her. I still think my number one pick right now is Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She knows the job. She knows what Trump's looking for, and he knows her. That's my number one pick right there.
All right, and that's a good choice. Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world reserve currency. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.